Greetings from my recording studio high atop the Eiffel Tower in Paris, France, and welcome to this presentation on derivations of different forms of a linear function. In particular, we'll be looking at the point-slope form, the slope-intercept form, and a form for proportional linear relationships. We'll start with the point-slope form, as that is where everything else is derived from. We have 2 points on a straight line, x1, y1, and x and y. That wasn't supposed to happen. So we'll have a slope triangle to help us out a little bit. And we know that the slope is defined as the rise over the run. In this case, the rise is going to be y subtract 1, y1, and this is going to be x subtract x1. This is the run. This is the rise. And our slope is defined as the rise over the run, so we'll have y subtract y1, put everything in parentheses to keep us honest, and then x subtract x1. That is our definition of slope. If we multiply each side of this equation by x subtract x1, we get something that looks like this. This denominator and this numerator cancel out, and we're left with y subtract y1 equals m times x minus x1. That is called the point-slope form of the equation. And we'll now use this to derive the other 2 forms of the equations that we specified in the introduction. So in this case, we have our coordinate system. This is my x's. This is my y's. And in this particular case, we're going to let the graph of the function cross the y-axis. Any point lying on the y-axis has an x-coordinate of 0, and we'll let this value of y, in this case, be designated as b. So we'll come back with the point-slope form of the equation. We'll start there. Y subtract y1 equals the slope times x subtract x1. And now we'll substitute this value of x and y into that equation. So we have y subtract b equals the slope times x subtract 0. Next step, y subtract b equals, and all we're doing is distributing this m through this parentheses. That'll be m times x, and of course m times 0 is 0. Now we want y isolated. We want y all by itself. So we'll add b to both sides of the equation. You'll recognize this as the additive inverse. The additive inverse gives us a 0. So y equals mx plus b. And this is called the slope-intercept form of a linear equation. where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. That's where the function crosses the y-axis. Once again, starting with the point-slope form of the equation, x subtract x1. In this case, we'll let our function cross at the origin. That's the point 0, 0. And then we're going to take these coordinates and put into this equation. Be y subtract 0 equals m times x subtract 0. Finally, we get y equals mx. And this is called the proportional form of the equation. Typically, we don't use the letter m in this equation, but we use something else, typically k. And although k is a slope, we kind of differentiate it in this equation from the slope in the other forms, and k is often known as the proportionality constant. If I can spell that right. Or it's also known as the constant of variation. All right, that pretty much wraps up this presentation. And at the end of the day, there's only one thing left to say. You know what it is? Say it with me. That's all, folks. Thanks for watching. Thanks for learning. And as a favor, give me a thumbs up in the YouTube video. Guys, have a great day.